Be the right club today.
Johnny, that's better than most.
How about in?
That is better than most. Better than most.
Expect anything different?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the No Laying Up live show, presented as always by our friends at High Noon. Only one round of golf remains in men's majors in 2025. Solly here, joined by my guy DJ Pie. Hello, DJ.
Hello, guys. Good to be with you. The king is ascending to another one, man. It's the water's finding its level. All of the cliches are happening at Royal Portrush, and I'm excited to talk about it.
Big Randy, famous Scotty hater, I think he's resigned those takes. I think he's, absolved them. He's tried to scrub them from the internet, but I believe he's a believer now.
On that front.
He's a believer now. Hello, Randy.
Hello. Great to be back 2 days in a row. What a blessed life.
I just took a sip of the Kiwi, guys, because today, I don't know if we're going to get a Kiwi day tomorrow, and this may have been the peak day of the Open Championship. Yeah. The suspense has potentially been removed. The all-new High Noon Beach 12-pack is here and will surely be making waves. The all-new Vodka Seltzer 12-pack brings kiwi and raspberry as permanent flavors, along with fan favorites peach and lemon, all made with real vodka and real juice. You do not need the sand between your toes to enjoy this one. Grab the High Noon Beach 12-pack. Make any day a beach day. Visit highnoonspirits.com to find a pack near you. I did exactly this to make sure my local Publix had the beach pack, where I picked up 2 of these. High Noon, Suns Up. Thank you for sponsoring all of our live shows this season. Deej, where do you want to start?
We are we got a good show. We're going to get through a lot today. We're of course going to talk stories of the day. I wonder who's going to be on that list. We are going to go a layer deeper on Scotty. I think we've got some career comps. We're going to get stuck saying a lot of the same things. So we're trying to figure out a way to evolve the Scotty conversation. We got some good stuff cooked up there. We're going to bring in a couple of guests. Are the Carter brothers are both popping in separately. They're like the Gallagher brothers. They can't come in at the same time. But we're going to bring Neil in. We're going to bring TC in. Of course, Randy, we're going to talk how far back is too far back. And finally, we're going to check some odds. We're going to, we make these plays at the beginning of the week. We'll see how we're doing on that front. We'll check in on the odds for tomorrow. But guys, just to turn our attention to Royal Portrush in the Open Championship, Scott Scheffler carries a 4-shot lead into the final round. The only thing standing between him and his 4th major championship is 18 holes. Tomorrow in the final group with Haotong Li, just as everybody predicted, at -10. Matt Fitzpatrick at -9. Rory McIlroy after a Saturday 66 joins Chris Gotterup, HE, and Tyrrell Hatton at 8 under. And I'm gonna start with a little bit of a shocker today. I think this is from a text thread. I hope he doesn't mind me airing this out publicly. This is from our guy Phil Big Randy Landis.
Oh no.
I received this at 12:05 local time.
I was thinking last night.
He was really ruminating last night. AM. Quote, Scotty has officially become my favorite golfer, you guys. The existential presser and now flushing it at the Open as good as it gets for me right now. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And Randy, I'll turn the microphone to you first of all, thrilled to hear that. I feel very similarly. A lot of the Scotty's boring, take it away. I just not here for that. And it's good to have you kind of on the squad.
I feel like this needs a breaking news banner on the bottom of this screen right now. This is massive news, and I'm just now hearing about this.
Listen, I tried to talk myself into speed. We just can't rely on Jordan. Right? It's as simple as that. He's pretty much irrelevant the biggest weeks of the year. That hurts me to say. Scotty is anything but irrelevant. Let me quote Scotty. I know it's been covered, but just to put a fine point on what he was talking about early this week, where, as DJ mentioned, he now has a 4-shot lead in the Open Championship. Quote, to get to live out your dreams is very special, but at the end of the day, I'm not out here to inspire the next generation of golfers. I'm not out here to inspire someone to be the best player in the world, because what's the point? This is not a fulfilling life. It's fulfilling from the sense of accomplishment, but it's not fulfilling from a sense of the deepest places of your heart. Guys, nobody has said anything remotely close to that interesting. I can't remember the last time we've heard a professional golfer say anything that has just captured my attention and imagination like Scotty's answer to truly, working his whole life, getting to the mountaintop and letting us know that, like, hey, the view up here, it's good, but it's not the be all end all. I think it's fascinating. And when you combine that with a golf game that is just totally clinical and locked in, it's not better than that right now in professional golf. So I do want to say Scotty is my favorite golfer going right now, and I'm not sure it's close, honestly.
That rules big. I'm so with you.
I've been waiting to feel like this for since Phil left and did his thing, and like there's been a true vacuum in my life, like caring about someone playing professional golf, and I'm just really happy Scotty has stepped into this void for me.
You're not into the Sable offshore stuff, Randy? I would have thought that. I don't know what you mean by Phil leaving, but anyways.
I think what's cool about it is that quote that you just read, the quote that everybody's been talking about all week for good reason, is like, well, that would have been cool if the Estonian kid said it. I would have been like, wow, that was rad. Like, really cool. I'll be following that guy. No, it's the guy that also went out and like suffocated the golf tournament and is playing the best golf of anybody. You know what I mean? It's like, not only is it right. In a way, it has to be that guy, obviously, for it to be that impactful, but it's just also awesome that it is that guy, if that makes sense.
Like we talked about, we had a question yesterday, like, does Rahm want it too much? What the hell is John Rahm supposed to do to compete with a guy that has this mindset, right?
Check it out. Like, I don't even care. I'm going to keep hitting all these greens. I don't even fucking care.
This is a level of psychological warfare that I'm not sure we've seen, right? Like, this is insane.
We saw another level of it today, just, a little rocky to start, and then just kind of continues to be the same guy that he has been for the last couple of years. He goes bogey free, makes an eagle on 7.
Truly,
he plays to the fat parts of
this is for me.
All the greens. He birdied 16 for the third day in a row. Didn't see that during our one spin around Royal Portrush. So anything else that kind of sticks out from today? And I know we kind of get stuck saying a lot of the same stuff, but it's a lot of the same stuff that happens every day.
He's still doing it with a slight flaw this week. Like, the driving has still not been amazing. It does, he's kind of put himself in a couple tough spots, and he just did the Tiger par saving putt a couple times today that it doesn't feel the same as when Tiger did it, but it is the same. I'm sorry, it is the same. It's just that back-breaking putt that was never going anywhere but the center of the cup. And like, just the fact that I know we've talked about the putting improving, but I don't think we've like properly emphasized how the putter has become a weapon. Like, he is one of the best putters in the world now. I mean, here we were talking about the best driver in the game, best iron player in the game, and best chipper in the game last year. That's what he literally was, like statistically was, and a below average putter. And now, like, he's given some back with the driver. He's given a little bit back with the around the green stat. He's still the same iron player, but now he's added like the most important secondary skill you can behind iron play. It's going to mean more trophies. Like, he's always competitive and always going to be competitive with that playing profile. But to win these events, like a lot of these major championships, you need to have great putting weeks. And he's having maybe the putting week of his life this week. I mean, he has been, again, amongst all the players in the field, he is number one in the field in putting. He's been the best putter in the field on top of being the best iron player. So it's just every time he does make a little mistake, like he did on 11 today, he made the clutch up and down. And as somebody I'm rooting for him, like I want to see this. I want to see him win by 8. I don't even care if it's close tomorrow. And it's the most peaceful, like, viewing experience. It's whatever Rory was on the back 9 at Augusta. This is the literal opposite. And it might not be the most exciting and exhilarating, but it is the most impressive, man. And we'll probably just have to say the same thing again tomorrow and a bunch next year as well. But it's just genuinely mind bending.
Well, it's fun to, I feel like we could kind of look around this corner, call it a year, 2 years ago, where it's like, okay, we're reaching another level. Things are about to happen. Like we're reaching historic territory here, and it takes a little while to get there. You know, it's almost like getting a bad haircut or something, or like letting your hair grow out, where it's just like, man, we're just gonna have to get through these next like 2 weeks. I'm gonna look like it's gonna be kind of
worse before it gets
better.
better.
For like 2 weeks. But once we get there, it's gonna look sick. And that's kind of where I feel like when it's like, man, if he gets to 4, it's like, all right, dude, now we're talking. Now it's the only thing that matters when we get to majors. Can he get to 5? Can he get to 6, 7, 8, 9? And I just, it feels, I don't know, this week feels like the first time kind of around that corner towards like the historic afterburners, which is very thrilling to me.
So I know we have some like comparisons. I don't want to step on that, but I was looking on Data Golf, their career evolution, the career strokes gained, and just in majors, right? This is Scotty's 25th career major this week at the Open. So these numbers don't include this week, but through 24 starts on a per round strokes gained basis, Scotty's plus 2.75, Tiger Woods plus 2.88. And there's a pretty sizable golf. I looked up Rory and Phil just to see what they were. Rory through his first 24 starts, plus 1.97, and Phil was plus 1.43. So I know Bones was talking about it on the telecast. Like it's pretty close to what Tiger was doing on like a per start basis, right? In this point in their careers. Like that's the highest compliment, right? Like I never thought we would see somebody approaching that this soon after seeing Tiger, right?
That's what I think Bones had. I wrote incredible. That down after he said it because it like stopped me in my tracks. But because Bones is not, there's a lot of guys that are, a lot of guys on this podcast that can be very hyperbolic. Bones is not a hyperbolic.
Be hyperbolic,
yeah, of course. That makes for a good podcast.
Randy just said his favorite player is Scotty Scheffler.
Exactly. Bones, I would not call a hyperbolic person. I think he's pretty measured and has some gravitas. And I think his quote was something like, I never imagined in my lifetime we would see somebody this close to Tiger Woods, as close as he is right now. And that's not nothing, man. That's pretty heavy comparison.
Yeah. And just to like throw some more numbers, right? Since Scotty turned professional to begin, or not professional, since he got his PGA Tour card, right, to start 2020, this will be his 22nd major championship this week. He's only missed one cut, but he's on the way to his 16th top 10, right, in 22 majors, probably his 9th top 5, and likely his 4th win. And I do, why tennis has been on a little bit of a, I feel like tennis has juice lately, right? And it's like, why does tennis have juice? It's like, well, the best players in the sport, you can count on them showing up in the biggest weeks of the year, right? We've had Sinner and Alcaraz. We had him in France. We had him in London the other week. And I just have immense respect. And I'm sorry it's like taken me this long for Scotty Scheffler showing up and having competitive game the 4 biggest weeks of the year on the men's calendar. You can't say that about everybody. I just think that's like really, really impressive and something that I appreciate as a fan, truly.
I was trying to make this point last night, and I was trying to do it on the fly. And I put just a tad more time into this one, what I was trying to say of like post 2002 Tiger being a potential comp for Scotty. Like Tiger had like 2 amazing careers. I mean, if I'm eliminating, I think he won eight of his first 30 major starts, if I have the count right. So take that. So post that, I think he had 65 starts in majors. And again, like some of those are more recent and he's been injured and all of that, but there was a whole 2010s, when he was still a golfer. But anyways, he won 7 in his last 65 starts. And tomorrow is going to be 4 for Scotty. And you said this is his 25th major start, Randy?
Yeah, in his career, 22nd really since he's joined the tour.
And let's eliminate the last 15, 20 starts of Tiger's career, kind of, especially post injury and whatnot. So in the next 30, 35, or let's call it 25 majors, if Scotty gets 3 more after tomorrow, he'd be like Tiger's post 2002 career, which was like Hank Haney years, like 06 to 09, which were incredible. It's just not that Tiger Slam 2000, before he had the golf ball before everybody else had the golf ball time period. it is ridiculous, and nobody's ever going to do that 2000 stuff. But I can't believe we're even comparing somebody to the back half of Tiger's career.
Well, speaking of comparisons, Sully, I know you put together a couple of career comps. You know what? For those that don't know, we have another podcast called The Trap Draw where we talk about everything non-golf. The three of us tend to do a lot of baseball episodes on that feed, and we were doing these head-to-heads and like just comparing eras and getting on StatHead and looking at this second baseman versus that second baseman. And I was like, God, there's got to be a way to do this in golf, and it's just so hard on the tour's website, and it's not ever apples to apples. Our friends at Data Golf have got the closest thing we're going to find, I think, to putting people head to head. So we shout out Data Golf all the time, but we still don't shout them out enough. So I just wanted to say all of these come from our delightful friends at Data Golf.
And we're going to be looking at a graph, and Scotty Scheffler is on every one of these graphs. So it's Scotty compared to 9 different players, some current, some more historic. It's a strokes gain graph. Don't worry about the y-axis, like what the actual numbers are. Just worry about the imagery on this, right? And it's by, well, I mean, it's 2.0 versus 1.3. I guess that's when people get lost in this, right? And oh no, did the black boxes not make it in? I tried to cover the names on this. I hope maybe I didn't save it before.
All right, I will look. I'll play the game the right way.
All right. The first one's up if we have it. But yeah, it's going to be, so it's by age. It's strokes gained by age, basically. And it's going to say, Scotty versus the other guy. I think Cody might need a second to get it, or the black boxes unfortunately didn't translate. But I'm gonna spoil some of it. Scotty's gonna be very impressive in a lot of these, but the point's gonna be to guess. Here we go.
Okay, there we go.
Try to guess who the other person is in this graph.
I know this one because this is the one I sent over and was like, I think this would be an idea for a segment.
This is the one DJ shared with me too. So
this is Scotty.
I will say this player. Look at that longevity.
Yes,
it's astounding.
Like, yeah, man, close to like pushing plus 2 until you're 43 years old is heady stuff. This is Phil Mickelson, as those in the comments may have guessed. And I know Phil didn't hit his peak until a little later in his career, but Phil was also not a nobody during those stretches from 24 to 30. He won on tour as an amateur. He had plenty of good golf, and Scotty is decimating those early years, those pre-30 years of Phil's career. So listen, is he going to do it for another 25 or another 20 years, whatever? That who knows, but the early going is looking pretty good.
Solly, is this major performance or
no? This is just your strokes
total
gained. This is just your strokes gained. So, but I mean, it's to the point, like Phil never reached this level of play in his career. Now, again, can Scotty do this for another 20 years is a totally different question, but just how much this version of Scotty at this age blows Phil out of the water at this age to this point it's kind of remarkable. So, all right, let's go to the next one if you have it ready, Mr. Codeman.
Okay,
younger player, and Scotty recently passed him around that age 26 time period and has lifted and separated, in the ages 28, 29 and whatnot. But who is the other player potentially here? Good player.
I have a guess.
Yeah, I have a guess.
You go first.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was going to throw out the X-Man, Xander.
Ooh, I like that better than my guess. I was going to say John. Really? I was going to say John Rahm, but I don't know if I feel like John Rahm would be higher than that.
This is Justin Thomas.
I should have known on the fall off at age 30 there.
Yeah, this is JT. So he's quite clearly lifted and separated over him. Go ahead, go to the next one, please, Cody. It's another.
Yeah, I don't like. Take this one off. I don't like looking at this one. I knew it was going to be this. If JT was the last one, I knew the next one was going to be. And I don't want to spend a lot of time here.
I'm including this one because of how good he was pre 23 and earlier. Just we feel very justified in our fandom of this guy. But this is, of course, Jordan Spieth. In this one, here's an interesting one. I thought this is a former world number one. Quite a decent career. He didn't reach his peak until age 34, but again, Scotty blowing him away at every age to this point.
I got two guesses of who this could be.
Okay.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I think it's either Dustin Johnson or Adam Scott based on the age.
It is Dustin Johnson.
Yeah.
That's DJ. So good longevity.
I I will give our first guest a shout out. He guessed that in the comments.
Okay, good to know. Next one, we've got 5 more here. We can a little older player, obviously here, but success to this age, not really close. It's Scotty blowing him away.
55.
55 now.
Maybe
Is this Ernie? Big Ern?
This is Ernie Els.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Gosh. Look at that line on the way up. Go back to that one for a second. Look at that line on the way up, just perfectly mirroring is pretty crazy.
That was. Yeah, they were on a very similar pace. Next up is a very interesting one.
36-year-old.
I think this is
massively
go out
consistent.
59 tomorrow.
Exactly. Massively consistent level of play, hovering over that 2 shots per round. Gotta be the hometown kid, Rory McIlroy here.
It is. So Scotty taking a little longer to reach the peak levels that Rory reached, but again, getting to a level that Rory has never gotten to. 3 more. I think you guys can get this one pretty easily.
These charts are just bumming me out that Scotty didn't skip college and turn pro at 16 or 17.
Exactly.
It dusted some of
Who
these.
knows what he learned in that time period, though?
All right. This is our first gap.
Poor. This is interesting.
Okay, so we've got maybe some injuries going on here, or some
of those dots are didn't play enough during that time period to it's kind of a connect the dots time period.
44-year-old player.
He's
older than that. I think that's just where this thing.
Okay.
Okay. All right, that's good to know.
Is this maybe Faldo?
Come on, guys. Who hit 4 strokes gained? At the age of
duh.
24?
See, well, you're telling us not to worry about the y-axis.
I know.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Duh. This is obviously Tiger Woods.
This is Tiger Woods. He has not gotten to peak Tiger, but he is playing at a higher level than Tiger was playing at ages 28 and 29. James in the comments guessed Gooch. Very good guess. But it is
also
Tiger
has
Woods.
Gaps, at least it is his PJ Tour.
It's true.
Results.
It's true. All right, 2 more that aren't nearly as exciting.
God, these
as this
rule.
one.
I could do these all day. I love these.
Another older player, excellent career, but just doesn't even hold a candle to it.
But still got north of 2, 2.3 ish.
Yeah, excellent player, but only won 1 major, and it's just
1 major.
Give me another hint.
DL3.
It is DL3.
Oh,
excellent.
Good one.
Yes,
Big.
Randy, really,
How about
really
that?
good. Last one.
Look at that just progression from age 30. Just a little better every year. Love seeing that.
Another
No pun
hat
intended.
tip to the longevity,
Yeah, for real.
That was the
that's
point
no
of including
small
some
thing.
of these is we're really hyped on Scotty. Can you do this for a decade? It's going to be an interesting question.
Well, again, I said this in the preview, but it's can you do this for a decade with your golf swing? Sure. Can you do this for a decade with that back of your mind? Just man, would I rather be at home? Do I want to be doing this? Do I want to be traveling this much? That's a whole other conversation, I feel like.
Yeah.
Last one, again, another senior player, but this was a little late riser, but also had a Hall of Fame level career.
Yeah, good play. Oh, this has got to be VJ.
This is VJ.
Yeah,
Good call.
God, peaks, man. Look at that 40.
Look at that late
40
peak.
years old.
Yeah.
It's an incredible tool. I would recommend going and playing with it on the Data Golf website and whatever comps you want to make. They're really, really good.
You can slice it up a little bit too, where you can do the Data Golf points is basically like the BDE index. Are these guys winning? Are they playing well in big events? Are we, rather than the kind of everything's the same strokes gain sort of situation. But God, this ruled. I could do this. I could do this all day. That's really fun.
I appreciated the idea for that. But I believe we have somebody in the pen that's ready. But before we do that, I want to give a shout out to our friends at Holderness and Bourne. They got some new colors in the Harwood short. They got Ivy and Andover. Their shorts are quickly becoming their best seller. They're versatile for off the course as well. The Amherst colorway, which is a soft purple, is awesome. The Bedford colorway, the soft dusty blue. The Cape colorway is that faded coral. The Maxwell shirt is flying off the shelves. It's one of my favorites as well. It's got iconic peak style, great in heat. It's updated with new colors. They got the Cape, the Amherst, all that good stuff. It's not too early to think about the cashmere. They got Ben Griffin, Bud Colley both wearing cashmere at Portrush. I've got the Lawson hoodie on. This one is one of my absolute go-tos. It's one of the most comfortable hoodies I've ever worn. I actually bought one of these. I never buy clothes when we go to golf courses, but I bought one of these at the Tree Farm as well, just because I needed another one of these. So the shorts are fantastic. The polos are fantastic. The only discount code, go ahead, Randy.
No, sorry. It's a little washed out, but I'm wearing an H&B polo. It's got little forest tree print all over it. This thing is awesome. Casey, shout out Casey, our Casey, sent it to me for the live show, and this is going to be one of my favorite shirts this summer. Truly.
You know what? I don't want to tip my hand big. I got some H&B in my scripting for tomorrow, so watch the live show tomorrow.
She sent it to me too, and I was so excited I wore it last night. I didn't know I was supposed to wear it tonight, but I got a whole closet full of H&B, and you can have a closet full of H&B as well if you go to hbgolf.com. Use code NLU10 for 10% off your first order. This and the Trap Draw code are the only ones on the market for Holderness and Bourne. NLU10 at hbgolf.com for great deals from them. Back to you, Deej.
Thank you. We mentioned this earlier during our little segment on the hometown boy, but 66 today for Rory McIlroy to rocket him up the board to T4. Was not the low round of the day. Got nipped by one shot by my guy, Russ Henley. We can talk about that later when we go down the leaderboard. But an unbelievable day for the Rib, which means, of course, we got to bring in our guy, Neil Schuster, dressed for the occasion, looking absolutely fantastic. Getting ready for, it looks like a black tie event. I love seeing that.
Gentlemen, good evening. Thought I'd pop in before the garden party tonight in honor of Scotty Scheffler. So yeah, but great round from the Rib today. Really, really proud of Rory.
Would you just IPO
Randy, based on his post
what?
round, seems like he's looking forward to kind of hosting the block party tomorrow. Kind of wants to be among the people, just taking
Neil's
it all
got
in.
a soiree at one of his private clubs out on Long Island tonight.
Listen.
Without
The
getting into
block
the specifics, it's been
the block
a really
party's
good
been
quarter.
great. It's been an awesome run, but I some guys approached me earlier this week. They made an offer, and I'm decided to sell the block party to Versant. And it was just the right time. I think it's the right time for Rory. He's got a great team around him at TPG. The Versant guys are really sharp. Really substantial number that they threw in my face. And it's, I think they have some great ideas and some ways that, they're looking for some aggressive growth from the block party, and they have some plans, and it was just better. It's better that I move on. Now, garden party. Will it be as fun? Maybe not, but damn, is Scheffler's game elegant, Randy? Just really 12-piece band,
Just proper, right?
bacon wrapped scallops. And I'll tell you what, the right people are going to be there. Maybe not as many people, but the right people. I don't know if you guys got an invite. It doesn't seem like it. Randy,
No.
I'll let him know
No.
tonight that he's now your favorite player. Maybe I can get you on the list for next time around. But I was just looking, guest list: Jeffrey Katzenberg, Yo-Yo Ma, Bobby Flay, Egon Durbin, the Cubes, Bill Ackman, the Mooch, Kathy Wood, Tony Robbins. Like I said, guys, the right people. Okay. And so, I just wanted to pop in though, and really give Rory a, kind of pat on the ass for the 66 today. It was a really proper round, one bogey, just good stuff. But yeah, other plans tonight, which is, times are changing. It's just how it goes, Deej.
Came out of the gates absolutely digging. Birdie at the first, birdie at the second, birdie at the fourth. Kind of a very vintage, like, I don't know if he shoots 56. I don't know.
Absolutely putting his face off today.
Yes, just a throwback sort of round. At least that's how I felt. Reminiscent of some of those Augusta rounds, Chambers Bay. I felt some notes of Chambers Bay in there today. But it hits a little different with the hometown crowd and the history at Royal Portrush, and just like just an amazing day. Peaking with of course the Eagle at number 12. And
Crowds were
honestly,
insane. There was like 35 rows deep, like by the fourth tee. I don't know how those people could see anything. I mean, I tweeted that out and put a picture out there, and somebody's like, "Oh no, it's the same thing as when Tiger did it." It's like, that's remarkable. The same crowds as what Tiger had. Yes, this is remarkable. This is an extremely remarkable thing, and they've done a good job, kind of capturing that energy and that setting it all with all
it's
that.
not that cool. Babe Ruth did that too.
No, I got a little carried away when he made that long putt. I think, was that on 10 or 12?
12
I
was
can't remember.
the long eagle putt.
Eagle, yeah.
Was on 12. Yeah. So, listen, fantastic stuff. I sent out a tweet, asking for lighter fluid. That was a sponsored post. That was part of the deal with Versant.
Sure.
So I just want a helpful context for those out there.
Yeah.
Maybe try to fire up the good times, a little bit there. But in the end, Sally, you said it earlier on Slack, and I've been thinking about this since you said it. This leaderboard, it would be such an interesting spot if Scotty disappeared off this leaderboard. what an interesting spot this would be for Rory. Like, what, 3 back from Haotong Li?
Two now. It was 3 when I sent that, but Haotong bogeyed 18, yeah.
So 2 back and hometown, like, but it's just like, hey, there's Aquaman's in town, and that's just like, that's not going to get it done. So, but I think a really strong showing from Rory today. I don't know, I don't want to say he stumbled out of the gates on Thursday, but he just, he didn't have 3 great rounds. I think he had 2. That Friday and Saturday were both proper golf from him.
It's kind of, it's a weird situation where it's like, maybe he got stuck a little bit in neutral right out of the gates, but it's like, man, I don't know if he left 6 out there so far, right? It's like,
for sure,
Scotty's just playing that good too. So it's to your point, like, if Scotty didn't exist, sure, it would be, he's playing good enough to be in the mix for sure, but it's kind of a, he does.
But it's an interesting, based on the first 20 minutes of this show, listening backstage is like, that just should also show how dominant Scotty's been in the last 3 days and kind of now the last 2-3 years. It's really impressive. Because it's a really strong tournament from Rory at home with all the pressure and all the chatter and all the questions he's got to answer. Like, I think, like, it's truly props to him for showing up. I think it's a really good showing from him.
He also, like, who knows, right? This is, especially with Rory, it's hard to psychoanalyze anybody, but it looks like he's enjoying it truly. Like, he doesn't look like he's playing tight. He looks like he is bouncing around, high-fiving people. Like, it's obviously easier when you're shooting 66 to feel that way. But I don't know. It's been very fun to watch because I think he's leaning into the moment and soaking up what is probably like I don't want to say once in a lifetime. Who knows? Maybe they go back to Royal Portrush in the next 5-6 years and he does it again. But it's like, there's not that many opens at Royal Portrush in his future where he's on the first page of the leaderboard. And so I think it's always fun when you see somebody, or you can at least think that you see somebody really enjoying what's kind of a once in a lifetime experience.
I also thought he looked sharp today. I liked the red shirt. I felt like he looked good, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him.
Well, Neil, I did want to talk about this shot that Cody just put up there. I said the peak of the golf was on number 12. I think the peak of the round, and certainly like things I'm going to remember forever, happened on number 11, which is him trying to punch kind of out of this right rough. And it turns out there was another golf ball under there. Neil, I think you put together a list of just things you're going to, delightful things you're going to remember from today. And I got to believe this was on your list.
This was number 1 on my list. I want to say it's definitely something that I'm going to remember, but I'm worried it's going to go the way of the climate protesters at Travelers, or even Michael Block dunking it at Oak Hill, where like we're not going to mention it. And like that actually happened. Like I came home. First shot I saw today was this shot. I was like, what? I thought he whiffed it. I was like, why is everybody cheering? The ball is like 3 feet in front of him.
That's a penalty, isn't it?
Like, I turned the TV on, when you like turn it on and you're standing like 4 feet away, you haven't sat down on the couch yet. So I was like up close. I was like, yo, he just missed the ball. Like, what's everybody cheering for? I've never seen anything like this. It's unbelievable that a ball could be buried in there directly under his, and the way the ball pops straight up in the air. I mean, it's just make room for wow here, guys. I had to bring this up. I need to like have a list of like, do you remember when that happened? Like the climate thing at Travelers. I think about that often, and I don't think enough people talk about that. And I think this is going to go in that category.
I totally agree.
I heard it was to us 3 on the bottom. I heard it was a Titleist 4.
I know
reports. I was like, did I lose? I feel like we very easily could have lost the ball over there.
You know what's funny? I had the same.
Our guy Patty.
Yeah, it could have been.
I'm praying. Did Patty lose one on 11?
I was hoping they'd zoom in on the ball because it looked like there was some crazy marker on it, or maybe that was just dirt. But I was like, God, you got to give me a look at that. Like, what an iconic thing for someone to claim. Like, oh, that's my golf ball. It's just such a funny experience there. And Rory made bogey there, but I thought he kept his wits about him.
I hope
that was a tough break.
I hope there's a journalist that did this. But Randy, it reminded me a lot of, remember when we went to Big Cedar Lodge for the opening of Tiger's Paynes Valley, and they're doing the ceremonial opening tee shot, and Tiger just smother hooks it left into the woods, and then they're like, oh, should we do another one? And he's like, yeah, let's do another one. And he like pumps the next one down the fairway. And everybody like leaves, and Randy and I are standing there like, you should go get that golf ball, man. Like it's right there. Like it's gonna take us 5 minutes to go find it. And sure enough, we're poking around for 5 minutes to find this Bridgestone like Tiger golf ball. I hope there's a journalist there who was like, I gotta see that, because we got to track down who this is, because that'd be an
Rory picked it up and then he threw it into the heather. So
somebody went and got it.
Like,
one of the fans got it.
Yeah.
That's what literally was the title was for. Like that's what somebody had tweeted it out. I forget who did, but
red or black.
I don't know.
That's what was the first thing I was with you,
me.
Sully, where I was like, wait, 11. What did? Oh no, thank God, I pulled it way left.
I also
pulled it way left. We're fine.
Just to say one more time, like this is a spot normally with Rory where like he's kind of known, at least for me, where it's like he gets going and then something just stifles his momentum. And I thought he picked himself back up after this. Comes back with the eagle on the next hole, and you look at that card, and if you didn't know this happened, you're like, oh yeah, just one bogey on 11. I mean, that's a really good round of golf from him with something crazy like this going on. So again, props to Rory for showing up today.
What else is on your list?
I had Matty Fitz cross-handed chipping. I'm never going to get comfortable with this.
Have you tried it ever?
No, I haven't, but it just under pressure, I can't imagine doing this. And he had one, I think it was on the back 9 where he came up short, which is what made me think of this, of like, man, under the gun, it just seems like to go, to float your own way on some type of technique like this.
Maybe everybody else is doing it wrong
in professional golf is just really interesting to me.
Yeah.
And I don't mean this as a commentary. Like if it works for him, great stuff, but I'm never going to be comfortable watching it. And it makes me uncomfortable even thinking about doing it.
1,000%. And I know he's chipped in a couple times, and that kind of juices the strokes gained stuff, but leading the field this week in strokes gained around the green.
I was gonna say I've messed around with it, and it's kind of it's surprisly nice. It might be an easier way to chip. It looks like backwards and totally fucked, and you would just hit the club straight into the ground a foot behind it. It's actually surprisingly really crisp.
I could not disagree more. Respectfully, I was in the garage today, and so I was like, have this hitting net in my garage, and had the TV on, and it turns out there was a lot of commercials. So every time it's going to commercial, I'm like, oh, I could just chip some balls or hit some balls or whatever, and just like really struggling on like pitch shots off of mat, like 30 to 40, 50 yards. And so I literally was looking up and I saw him chip in cross-handed. I was like, maybe I should try it. It was the most uncomfortable I've ever been in my life. I hated it.
Which is how I feel cross-handed putting.
Yeah.
I think you should give that a go, DJ.
Well,
that fits.
The other piece of this that I wonder about.
TC needs to give it a go. Maybe we'll talk to him about that when he comes in.
And I'd love to talk to Fitzpatrick about this, but where do you draw the line on when you cross hands? Because I was, experimenting a little bit with the claw earlier this year, and you start to get into that 30 to 40 foot range, or you're on the fringe, where do you change your grip to regular, and I'm sure he has an answer for that because he's, tracks everything, but that just, it almost introduces more uncertainty to me. Or like, are there certain lies where, hey, you got to get some speed through this one? Are you going to go regular? I guess it's one more tool in the toolbox, and he's clearly handling it well. I mean, he's, top 5 at the Open Championship. So who am I to criticize it? But it just makes me, it gives me agita when I see it.
Please try it next chance you get. Would love some feedback. And solid, much like Fitz, like if you're feeling great on it, I support your journey to lean in.
I might mess with it a little bit more. Please. I'm not going to put it under the gun in competition, but question in the comments, Neil. I know you got some more stuff to get to, but just want to make sure we got to this. Your any comment on you picking Scotty not to win this week?
That was also
Fitz to win
in the one and done.
That was kind of in the deal with Versant. We wanted to keep it quiet, so we were trying to throw people off the scent a little bit. So I told him that would be a good way to do that. But yeah, we're all in on this garden party.
You could come to route if Rory does it tomorrow, then you can absolutely stunt. If Scotty's runner up to him, then yeah.
I'm a little disappointed in Fitz because I picked him to win, and he kind of played like a chap today. I was hoping for some bloke stuff out of him. TC said he's still a lad, which is I disagree with that. I think no more braces. I think Fitzy's definitely. I want to put him in bloke territory, but he played like a chap today, which was disappointing.
What else you got?
D, this one's for you. Just Justin Rose's penchant for over the top celebrations. He went with, as you said, at the Shawshank today. which I know you love that one. But not really in the tournament, but just has a knack for.
In fairness, he did crawl through a river of shit, multiple shanks to get to this point.
And you just, I'm doing a couple things and you hear the roar and you look up and you just see this image. I was like, pause, rewind, taking a picture of that. And then of course I go to our Slack and you've already mentioned it. I'm like, it's just, golf's entertainment and the longer Rose sticks around, the more, he's boomeranged into entertaining for me versus smug. And
for
so
sure.
it's fun. It's good stuff.
T14 again, man. He keeps showing up. We have 8 birdies today and 2 shanks, something like that. I mean, that's a hell of a story. That's all you're looking for, Randy, is something to talk about over the post round beers. And he certainly had
exactly right.
He had that today.
Dude, what happened on 8? Oh, pull up a chair. You're not gonna believe it.
Yeah, another round. Yeah. Let's get a couple. We're gonna need
that AI
beers,
Guinness again.
Yeah, you know how much he likes the Guinness. He's so deep into that. Maybe he's popped by the bookstore. It's great.
All right, I got a couple more for you. One, Solly, I'm completely on your block with the hat and stuff. I want one of the 95 people in the booth, just one of them, to be like the Norman Rockwell guy of like, you know what, guys, I actually think that the antics are overdone. And if he reacted the way he did on a few shots around, it's every single shot. And it's just not, it's almost like they have it in their prep book of like, here's how we're going to handle Hatton. It's like the company line. It's like, I can't imagine that Faxon is enjoying that, or Bones. It's kind of like, I'd love one of them to speak up and be like, man, it's a little much. It's just a little too much. He's kind of acting like a prick. Like, I don't know. I don't think they're going to say that, but it's just a little much.
He's so zany, dude. That's what's just so
I know they
funny
just kind of like
it.
but and they're not even ignoring it. I'd almost feel better if they just like moved away from it, but they almost like celebrate it. And that's starting to just bug me.
This guy kind of sucks, right? You guys,
like, I just want one of them to stand up and kind of say, I know they're thinking it. They have to be. One of them has to be. There's 95 guys in the booth. One of them has to be like, hey, this kind of sucks, right? Like, come on.
Like, imagine if JT acted like that. Like, would we all be like, it's just so zany, man. Let's get a microphone down there.
And he said he's never going to change. It's like, okay. Well, that sucks. That's kind of like not what you're supposed to do in golf. I mean, I guess call me the old guy in the tuxedo here.
On 17, he got mad because a pitch shot, his drive rolled into the rough, and he was unable to apply spin to the ball because the ball was in the rough. He's like, if I was right here, I could have done anything from this spot right here. He's like, yeah, you're on a links golf course. Your ball rolled into the rough, man.
And there's also like not the other piece of it with Hatton for me is there's no real good celebration like on the other side. He doesn't give you any
hold out for Eagle on 7. And it was just like,
yeah, it's just kind of like, yeah, I should do that. And I don't like that. It's like, if you're going to give me the juice, like Rom, I feel like Rom does this. Rom will give you it on both sides of the spectrum. Like, when it's going really well, he's got some passion. And when it's going poorly, he's going to freak out. And I'm cool with that. And I appreciate this comment that I look like a mixologist. You know what? I can mix you up a mean old fashioned. Just get that orange peel around the edge.
Mixologist. Do we have any ice back here? I need some ice.
And lastly,
fucking grasshopper. We don't have any. Fuck, man.
Lastly, I'm gonna ruin my NDA with Versant here, but I am offended by the Versant stuff.
It sucks.
It's like bad. Thursday, okay, cool, little Easter egg. Friday, okay, I understand it. Are we gonna do it tomorrow? Are we gonna hit a zoom in on the bag? On Rory's bag.
What time?
I'm offended by
tuning in. What time are we cutting to it? They're not going to watch the broadcast. They just want to tune in for that one part.
I just don't like this. I don't feel like it, and talking about how we operate, it's like, if it's an ad, we're gonna say it's an ad. It's like, come on, guys. Like, I just don't I don't appreciate that. I feel like they're trying to pull a fast one on the audience and they're in the back room doing stuff. Now, again, though, I do like these guys. They did give me a really good offer, cash and stock, so I can't say too much there.
While we're on it, the pompous nature of the NBA returning to its home on NBC, and like just people just want to watch the fucking NBA. Like, they don't really care what channel it's on. Like, the whole acting like it's a big deal because it's going back to NBC. Nobody cares.
It's a sick song. I think you guys would all agree with that.
It is a great song. But that's kind of like we're living on the past a little bit, Deej. We're living on an old jingle.
Really
old jingle. Not this golf broadcast doesn't give me a lot of
we're not cutting
confidence
any new,
that we're gonna knock it out of the park with this NBA schedule.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like we're on the cutting edge of much. But Neil, this was exceptional. I know the black car's got to be arriving here shortly, so we'll let you get out of here. You know the dessert spoon and the soup spoon are different, right?
Of course, just work your way in, baby. Just outside in. Come on now.
Just making sure. Hey, have fun tonight. Great to see you. Thanks for hopping on. And Solly, you know what? Speaking of ads, we're just closing ads. You know,
this is an ad.
Of course, this is going to be an ad. Please.
I'm going to talk about our friends at the Stack. You can go to stacksystem.com/NLU. You can use code NOLAYINGUP for 10% off everything in your order. We've talked a lot about stack speed. I got my work. I'm down to 3 times a week now. You can do it every other day. I was doing 2 days of rest. Now I'm doing every other day. I'm building up that speed a little bit quicker. But we've embraced the challenges. Stack wedges has been a ton of fun, easy to do in the backyard, easy to do on a mat with a net. And we just started embracing this idea. We teased this on Thursday. DJ and I did a little wedge challenge. We might have messed up the scoring a little bit. I think I used the wrong link or whatever. I basically challenged myself also on top of challenging you. So there's Chris Solomon here and there's also Solly. You finished in between both of those. So you both got a win and a loss against the two versions of the system that I did here based on the points. But what you can do is you can has a little game system in there, gives you a bunch of different yardages. You try to get I'm going up against whole high pie here. I mean, this is a big enough challenge as it is. But you try to hit the numbers. It's really, really fun. What's really fun is like you get started out and you're kind of guessing, and then just how you end up feeling your way through the process. As soon as you hit one, you're like, "Ooh, that was 73. That was really good." Or as soon as you hit one, you're like, that's going to be 80. That's way off. But it's great. It's a great way to train your distance control in your backyard or at home or on the range or wherever you wanted to do it. It's one of the many great offerings from the Stack Systems. Not just a speed trainer. It helps with your wedges, helps with your putting. Go to the stacksystem.com/NLU. Code NOLAYINGUP will get you 10% off of it and help transform your golf game. There's many, many different ways to do it. It's efficient. It's data-based. It's gamified. It's really, really fun. I promise you're going to have a good time doing it.
You also kind of stepped into the dojo too, because those are whole high pies, quote, comfy numbers.
I know. Yeah.
You know,
it was a home game for you. Yeah.
Those are the comfy numbers, home game for me. So you've really acquitted yourself well. Don't feel bad about that one half of you taking an L.
Okay.
Hey, Deej, before we bring in our next guest, just a really good, strong 4.5 innings there from Schuster. I appreciate him coming in, obviously, before he starts to shift, just to clean up a little bit here, be a good reliever for him. This is the lad. He found the ball. Patty could know this guy. He's obviously a huge Scotty fan. He's rocking a WWJD bracelet down on his left wrist, it appears like. So we'll find him. And then the other side of it, we did just see this. So the back side of the golf ball, that Titleist 4, Black 4, I believe that was the logo on it. So just everything was good. But we'll come back on that later. Anyway, our next guest.
Yeah, well, I feel like it's time to go down the leaderboard. You know, we've talked about the top of the board. We haven't really gotten into that fatty middle, the good stuff, the midfield. And you know whose music that is. That's our guy TC, who we're going to bring in for maybe, just kind of that, like you said, Cody, 6th, 7th. Let's bridge the gap to the closer. TC's ERA is nothing. He's not giving up anything.
Oh God, no.
TC, glad tidings, my man. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I don't know how I follow that performance from the Penguin that was in here, but here we go.
What's top of mind for you today before we go down the leaderboard?
Well, I'm glad we could get through the 15 minutes of Rory glazing.
No, we stacked that after 40 minutes of Scotty glazing. That was totally responsible.
Randy, I appreciate you being vulnerable and talking about your new
TC.
Affection for Scotty. I anticipate you'll be subscribing to ESPN Plus and watching feature group coverage from Memphis and stuff like that. I don't think we've mentioned Haotong Li yet.
Not in an earnest way.
People are calling him Tamu DJ. Timu, whatever. Timu
Who's
DJ.
People? Is that
a lot
you?
of people.
People online.
Okay.
Yeah.
The youths.
People are taking to social media.
He didn't fade away. I wish we had that.
So good, dude.
Yeah.
I wish we had that shot on 18T back. I don't know if that was the spot for the mini driver off the deck.
It seemed like he hit hundreds of mini drivers off the deck, which is also sick.
And he's hitting hundreds of greens.
Yeah,
just hitting all the greens. So
TC, you've not to, I'm stealing your own joke here, but you mentioned this. I think you do need to get a WeChat hat for you have a great hat collection. The structured WeChat hat, I feel like would be a really additive for you.
I agree. I'll have to get on that. Maybe I can get on Temu.
There's got to be Amazon overnight. Let's see if we can find one.
What else we got?
Talked Fitz. We talked Rory.
Goddard.
Yeah.
Potential Linksmaster tendencies.
Traits. Absolute traits.
High level traits. He HE played well as well. Kind of bounced back today. Didn't quite have his stuff yesterday. A little bit smoother around today. English. They were just mobbing up today. I think HE. Fitzpatrick, Hatton shot 68.
They're mobbing up for the parade tonight as well. I haven't heard anything about anything popping off yet on the parade right now. Yeah.
No, I mean, it feels really
probably good news on that front. I think
that's a good point.
It feels really obvious, like after the fact that Henley, Harmon, HE, Hatton, like those guys are playing well. Just seems like this place is tailor made for those guys. So. Xander with a really good round, 66. I think he seems to be. I'll be curious to see who finishes lower between Xander and Rory. Rory seems to have expended a lot of energy over the last couple of days, and I think a lot of energy today, getting, going out, coming out hot, and then kind of plateauing a little bit. So
Xander's quietly been better than it seems. And I know some of these things get skewed because they're limited fields and, top 15 is not the same as it necessarily used to be, but T8 at the Masters, T18, T11, T28, T25, T12, a T61 at the Travelers, kind of in a short field there. And then T8 last week at the Scottish Open, and clearly on his way to another top 10 this week. So it reminds me a little bit of like what we were saying with Scotty and the injury, and how, it's not just kind of the time to recover that you need to factor in. It's also like the time to then ramp back up once you are healthy, because you're just not as sharp. And so it just seems like he's on kind of a skewed timetable like Scotty was too.
Yeah. Henley 65 today, just textbook from him. Both the Højgaards, T9.
That's crazy. Like that should be that could have been on Neil's list. I feel like, of just like that's wild man sort of things. It's like, imagine both of your kids just top 10 and at the Open in the same year. That's nuts,
guys. Last night they're not yet.
That wouldn't be fun at all to do that tomorrow.
Yeah. Why don't we just play God on everything, Solly?
Sure.
Last night I unveiled some 36-hole takes as we looked into the envelope really quick and identified how spot on Randy was. I want to revisit that a little bit. Wasn't planning on doing this, but after a strong request from TC, I'll turn the floor over to him.
Yeah, I said both Højgaard twins will make noise this week at some point. Maybe not at the end, but they will make noise.
That I don't think noise will be made. Yeah, I
think they've been making noise for 3 days now.
Yeah, I don't think there's a word out of place there, TC. That's a true must credit TC.
Yeah,
on that
Thank
one.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cody.
No, I don't know if people are giving you credit for that take that they didn't know about, TC.
I got a few more takes that you guys don't know about too. So you
gotta
look at the totality of the plays. The totality of my plays, we're not in bad shape.
We're really not. And actually, like, we're gonna do this a little later, but just TC while you're here, TC had an Akshay top 20 and Carson Young top 20 at the Barracuda. That is very much in play. I don't even think Carson Young started yet today at the Barracuda. Ludwig top 10. You had keeping the faith on Ludwig. He's playing really good. And then Fleetwood, Xander, Ludwig all finished top 20. I think that was a plus 800 or so. That's looking pretty good as well. So, there were hundreds and hundreds of other ones that missed, but those three have a potential to hit.
I think
Fleetwood's
I only have 5 or 6
T29.
this
Fleetwood's
week.
got some work to do on that
Sure.
one.
But he's, I mean, final round. Fleetwood is,
Yeah.
especially out of contention.
That's a great
11 shots back. Like he's gonna
that's
go.
right.
He's gonna be
get
so
it
comfy tomorrow.
Yeah.
I also said Big Leash was going to play well this week, which
How did that go?
he's
You had him in
222
a
right now.
parlay with Cam Smith though, so that
Yeah.
didn't end up working out very
Okay.
well.
Correct.
Yeah,
Cam Smith, will you issue? I'm sorry if you guys talked about
we
this
talked about
yesterday.
this last
We
night.
did.
Did you talk about it? All right, I'll skip it then. Sorry. Not good at golf right now.
He's ripping lips, baby. Big Shot Bob, great club toss today. We were seeing a lot of signs of maturity out of Big Shot Bob lately, and then he just comes out with that club toss today. Really, really petulant behavior.
Well, he had a quote. It's whiffs of Hatton a little bit. He had a quote earlier in the week. I don't know why I came across this quote, but he was talking about like playing bad and getting a bad round out of your system, and he said he just gives himself the space and the acceptance to just go absolutely mental after bad rounds.
Yeah.
I think for 2 hours. I think he said I could do anything I want for. I hope I'm not getting this wrong. I'm
like
paraphrasing.
Randy does
But he's
that.
like, I could go absolutely mental for 2 hours after the round, and then it's totally out of my system.
What does it mean? Like he's like it's the purge for 2 hours? Like what are we talking about?
It's kind of like Blow Pig. Blow Pig shot
like-
66
I don't know if they're
today.
working on that same
Murder some
program.
townspeople? What do we?
I'll try to find the exact quote, but it was something like that, Randy. There you go. Thank you, Cody. I could do whatever I want for an hour. Just anything I want. You break things, literally do whatever I want for an hour, and that hour is gone. My job's done.
Go kill a drifter.
Maybe this is what we've been missing, babe. We might need to employ this.
I'm a little disappointed in Big Shot
bad
Bob.
round.
Yeah.
Ooh, batten down the hatches. Daddy's
You know,
coming home. It's gonna get, anything. You
Why
don't
are
want
you disappointed in
broken.
Big Shot Bob?
As soon as I glazed them last night, just a pretty non-competitive. I mean, 1 under was not a good round for a contender today. I needed him to. I thought he was going to stick around a little tighter than he did today. That was not his best effort today.
So, yeah, what do you think par was out there today? It felt like kind of for the leaders, it was
68.
about par 68. Yeah.
We have a problem with that. Are we?
There's no wind. It is what it is. I think.
You want to get your take off your chest, Cody, about the?
Oh, TC, this is gonna ruin your day.
TC's gonna need an hour after this pod.
He's gonna need to purge it. Cody doesn't want to come in, but
Cody's not
before we
coming
got going, he was lamenting how the U.S. Open or the Open always gets let off the hook for weather, not protecting the score enough, and while the U.S. Open, gets rained on if the scores go low.
Wow,
I think
that's shots at Randy.
Sorry, managing tabs back here. I did say that though.
Yeah.
Randy, any thoughts?
Well, I just think the U.S. Open has built its brand around like the toughest test in golf. So if it's not the toughest test in golf, then I'm going to have some questions. Whereas I feel like the Open has always built itself around, hey, whatever Mother Nature gives us, that's what it's going to be.
I think that's fair.
And the Open was forged by nature.
True.
Right? It's literally
People
forged
forget
by
that.
nature.
People forget that.
Nature is a big component in it.
Can
I will
can
say, I think
I've-
the greenside bunkers are too natural, though. They need to be more penal. This course, I think that's one of the things
Get
that
down with that.
I'm missing a little bit.
Sure. I just think maybe I guess my counter to that would be there's so much other penal stuff that you don't see as much on links golf courses, like the really thick stuff just off the fairway. Like I feel like those two kind of balance each other
Fair.
out just a little bit.
Now,
I feel
there's,
like
there's plenty of penal stuff that we just don't see
yeah.
that's out there because NBC is not showing it to us either.
I feel like I might be slightly. I don't know. I don't think it's an argument. I think it's a personal preference thing, but I think I might just be higher on Portrush maybe than at least TC. I know it's maybe not your favorite venue. I'm really digging it, and I really, really, really like how it plays. I think it's been awesome to watch. I feel like there's a ton of consequence on every shot. There is downside. There's birdie chances. I just have really, really dug it.
No, I think it's a good, again, I think I tweeted it today. I think my issue is more with NBC and how they've covered it and how we're not seeing
It's not bringing it to
proper
life.
Portrush. I do think it was better today with the sun out. You could see more layers and everything. It just seems like they've utilized all their resources for 16 and they've ignored that opening stretch of holes, and you don't really get into the round like quick enough.
It is so tough. I mean, I know this is the same refrain every year or every kind of NBC broadcast, but it's like The putt that I keep coming back to, I sent this to you guys today, is like that birdie putt that Rory made on Thursday, where they showed it from the super high tower cam, and you're like, oh, cool, that was a fun putt. And then they showed it from the ground level, and it was like, oh my, that was like 7 vertical feet that he just had to putt up there, and he made it. And it's just like, God, that's the stuff that makes this place so freaking cool. It makes all these links golf courses so cool. And
I hate to report it really exists on the world feed. That's the really frustrating part. Like that's what
it's a Tommy Roy problem.
Yeah, it's an NBC camera setup and effort kind of thing. Like it just is. There's
so many tower cams. Everything by the green is tower cam, and it's looking straight down, and it washes all of the slope out, and there's no context, and you can't see any fans, you can't see any context. It sucks.
Yeah.
I feel like Portrush is just missing like maybe one more like ball buster hole, right? Like when I get to 11, I'm like perked up, like, all right, this is a really important tee shot right here. Like you got to hit the fairway here. You're going to be struggling to make par. And I know it's condition dependent on a lot of this stuff, but it just kind of doesn't. Once Scotty got past 11, it was kind of like, I don't know what the main threat is here. You're just going to kind of, you can make it home without having to hit even a mid iron.
Yeah, that's fair.
I agree with that. There's not just that chance of doom somewhere out there that I feel like other venues have.
Which is, again, a bigger technology problem than it is a Portrush problem. Like we're down to like 4 courses abroad that give us this kind of what I'm asking for. And that's not Royal Portrush's fault. And again, I feel like no matter what, any kind of mild critique we give of any golf course gets painted as like the guys don't like Royal Portrush. That's not really the case. It's like we're being hyper. One, there's no bad courses on the Rota. There's like not one single bad one. I would watch any of them. I think it's I think there's not very great courses on the US Open Rota. And I think there's 0 bad courses on the Open Rota, but there's still going to be our favorites and our ones we don't love as much. I think our critique last night was very fair of just like, it's a very aerial approach shot golf course, which is not what I love the most about links golf. If you feel differently, feel free.
Like there were people online saying that comparing it to Torrey. Like, no, it's a legitimately great golf course.
Somebody compared to Valhalla too. That made me very upset.
That's infuriating.
You guys reaping what you're sowing here, hammering the Valhalla and Tory stuff so much. You're gonna have bad actors out there. You're gonna get radicalized, man. It's cost of doing business.
You want me to keep going down the board a little bit, or
please?
I will say, please keep going down the board. I did just want to comment whether coincidence or Portrush has this ability. It's wild how similar the leaderboards look from 2019, where Lowry had a 4-shot lead after the 3rd round. He was up, I think, 6 on 3rd place, and then it was like nice and bunched right after that.
That's complete non-threat playing with him in Haotong Li. Haotong Li's quote afterwards is he was playing for 2nd, playing with Scotty. I think Fleetwood said the same thing in 2019.
Haotong Li, according to our friends at Data Golf right now, has a 3.7% chance of winning.
From the final
high.
Take it under.
What if he does? I'm not going to slag Haotong Li right now.
No. I don't even know if that's a shot at Haotong. It's just,
It's a good quote here from Dylan DeChair in the presser. Haotong Li, solo 2nd on playing with Scotty Scheffler tomorrow. Quote, I'm actually quite looking forward to it. 4 shots behind, kind of playing for 2nd, especially playing with the world number 1. I'll just try to play my best out there and hopefully make something happen.
I respect what he's trying to do, but again, Scotty is, man, he's as nihilist as they get. Like that shit ain't working on Scotty, dog.
Yeah, it is.
You're not gonna out uncare Scotty.
It's tough to kind of do the exercise of like, well, if he drives it into like a footprint in a bunker and he makes a quad, then you're tied. It's like, I don't really like the chances of being tied with him for 17 holes to go either. Like I don't know. We'll see, but I like Scotty's chances.
If the putter starts to betray him, that's the only way, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked a little shaky early on, too.
Or some freak conditions, right? Like you start getting some crazy wind and rain and weird stuff happens. Maybe there's a slow bleed.
What's the weather look like tomorrow, TC?
That's a great question.
It's just been low confidence every week or every day. The Met Office they have no confidence.
Little boy.
Sounds like my game.
Office.
I saw
Portrush tomorrow. Look at this hyper local coastal forecast, the EXP3. Little moisture potentially midday, 12, noon, 1 o'clock. We got wind out of the north. Not very strong though. Let's see what the European model looks like. It's saying sunny all day with maybe a slight chance showers around 6 p.m.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I mean, we
Hence
got
your low confidence. Yeah.
We got a north wind that's like 9 to 10 miles an hour. Nothing
Not
to
much.
write about.
Yeah. What else you got, TC? What else is jumping out at
I
you?
want to give a shout out to Mike Wallace. 66 today. He is currently first in strokes gained approach for the week, plus 8.64. And he is 115th in strokes gained off the tee and 130th in strokes gained around the green. So putting and approach play, putting and iron play, strong stuff there. But I think he's a proper player. Yeah, he's always got a tough shirt. Oliver Lindell, I still don't know who this guy is.
On the team.
Like the Finnish relative to
Finish my pillow guy.
Yeah, the My Pillow guy. Christopher Reitan keeps hanging around, -5. He's paired with our guy Ludwig tomorrow. You guys talked about Team Rose earlier. I bet he's enjoying a Pimm's Cup or something like that tonight. I mean, he was on a razor's edge, right? He was on a knife's edge as far as like he had the shanks for a while, but he was firing at every pin for a while too. It was incredible. Loved it. Harry Hall, Lee Westwood.
Westwood shot 40-29 today and almost shot 28.
Cool. That's pretty cool.
I love that. He chipped he's chipping like a dog this week. What else we got? We got Corey Connors, good round today, 66. We kind of called him out a little bit last night, just saying that this should be a course fit for him. And he's showing up a little late. Dustin Johnson.
How about that?
Guys, how about that? How about DJ?
It's nice to see.
Final year of his exemption, I believe, right? Into this event.
Yeah, I think that's an underrated thing for tomorrow between Dustin and Leash and those guys. What do you have to finish to get in next year?
It is top 10 in ties to get in next year.
So I know we're kind of looking, we're always looking for a little bit of forward planning. We're like, all right, just in case this turns into a snoozer, any things to watch tomorrow, any exemption stuff or Ryder Cup stuff, or kind of just like have this running in the background type.
Run in the background for Haotong Li, a top 4 in ties will get him into the Masters. He is not in as of now. Chris Goddard is in. Harris English would look good to be in. I believe Hatton obviously would be in. Xander, Henley, Nikolai Højgaard, there's not a lot of other guys near the top that would need a Masters exemption, but that is on the line for Haotong Li. Again, top 10 in ties would get into the Open for next year. So this Oliver Lindell character, Christopher Reitan, I assume is not quite eligible. It's not that hard to get an Open Championship berth, but
Westwood?
Westwood would be good to take care of that and get in the top 10 and not have to go through qualifying or any of that would be well worthwhile. On the Ryder Cup side, JJ Spawn's 3rd in points, but Russ Henley getting up there could make things interesting for him. JT's not far behind him, and they're tied right now. It's still like the points only really matter at the very top, but Spawn is a guy to monitor of like, if he's a guy I could see the U.S. not taking if he doesn't get an automatic pick, even if he's 7th on the list. And a good round tomorrow could go. I mean, he's just not going to want to miss any chances for points to lock them up. Well, tomorrow's also Bryson's last chance to get any points, and he's likely to potentially fall out of the top 6. He's going to get a captain's pick, obviously, but just could get a little bit interesting for Spawn. HE is 10th. He could get a lot of points tomorrow as well. Harmon, Mav are all right there. Rasmus Højgaard's 7th in the standings. Going to be on the team probably either way, but if he got up into the, has a great finish, gets up into the top 6, then he's looking at automatic qualification.
What's Nikolai at? Is he way down there?
I think he is pretty far down there. Let me look that up, and I'm going to give you my final wrap up. Fitz, I know we don't really actually care about FedEx Cup stuff on the eve of a final of a major, but Fitz is 60th in the FedEx Cup right now. A runner-up would put him in the top 30 as you look to try to make the Tour Championship. Xander, somewhat similar boat. He's 53rd and could use a good finish and could use a good playoff run as well. Nikolai Højgaard's 30th in the standings, TC. So he would need it. Yeah, he was going to need a captain's pick. He almost couldn't do it, even with a top 2 finishers.
I kind of feel like sorry, I'm losing my scale on like how far he can move up or what he can do, but Brian Harmon feels like the one that's like, dude, if you're not in that top 6, it's not happening. And I don't think he could possibly move all the way up there. Not without.
No, he's 12th and he's 3,500 points behind JT, who's in 6th, and
$25 million, right? Is that how that
yes,
works?
but it is
it's
a point and a
double
half.
for-
It's a
yeah.
point and a half, I believe, in the majors, and it is somewhat decent money. But the Open is also one of the. Open's a smaller purse than like a signature event. So again, it's you got to like win. Wins are the only thing that are going to really move anything at this point, and I don't think Harmon's going to be in a great position.
That's crazy. It has Keegan listed as number 9. Is that right?
Oh, wow.
It is. He's miles behind the 6th spot. That is absolutely correct. Like, even another
tomorrow,
win, even another
2. God, go out 64.
Speaking of Russian nesting dolls,
maybe get up to 7th.
Oh.
I think he's going to get up to 7th tomorrow. Harris English is right behind him. Harris English is going to pass him in the standings. So I don't know.
A lot of golf left.
A lot
of golf left.
He would need to earn over $1 million to even pass Ben Griffin in 8th.
We've got things like the BMW Championship at Caves Valley coming up. We've got Memphis, things, all sorts of stuff like that. Yeah.
You know what's interesting?
Automatically qualify.
Sorry, this is not good radio here because I don't know the answer, but did they like diversify more of the FedEx Cup bonus money into those playoff events?
A little bit, like the
does
winner.
That put the Ryder Cup points out of scale?
I looked. BMW winner gets $5 million. So, like, yeah, if you win, it's more like 3.6, which is I think the normal.
Who won the BMW last year?
Yeah, that's
Keegan actually won it last year.
Okay,
DC, yeah.
There's a whole other course though.
Which would you guys?
You're discounting.
I would support him qualifying on points. That'd be better than this having to pick yourself.
I know you're being very dogmatic about this top 6, which I understand, but I don't think you're giving enough credit to the gray area of people being like, I mean, 8th is like basically 6th.
Oh,
like
yeah.
nobody is going to look at like how
Horrible
far
planning,
behind, who else is like. I just want you to know, like, the margin of error you're not factoring in at all. Like,
I'm totally factoring it in. There's horrible process going on here. What do we? Go back.
But he'd be totally okay if
I have
Keegan
been talking about this
qualifies on
point system since 2016 about the flaws in this system. This is not a new thing here. It's nothing to do with Keegan. Has nothing to do with anything other than like the U.S. is not getting the point. I went and like did a detailed dive on the European point system. It's so good. Like, it's so much better. There's 5 different tiers of events. Like they've actually like banded out how all of this like would factor out. And what do you know? Their points list looks like the 6 best players have made it to the top. Versus this system that just rewards one big massive week in a big money event, I can totally skew things out of control. And
I thought Scouts Inc. was running everything though, and they were doing good stuff.
I don't think they've been able to overtake what is entrenched on this point system.
Boys Club.
It just seems like you would start there, right? Like, maybe why don't we start with like how the players are getting on the team? Why don't we start by like unlocking the door? Nobody can get in. Why don't we unlock the door? It's just like the first step. Then we can figure out what happens once they get in the house.
The only positive is going to only 6 automatic qualifiers is kind of like it's a lot harder to do like the Jimmy Walker 2016 thing where he won the PGA and
allegedly
made it on the team. So my overall takeaway is like, all right, if you've done enough, probably if you're in that top 6 to have probably earned a spot. It is the thinking of what exactly you're talking about of like 7th, 8th. You're really going to leave the 7th guy off where the whole process breaks down.
God, we might have
calling off.
That's sick. I might be trending in on that. It might be a total metric, system type of situation. Like, how are we not just look, the system's right there. Why don't we just use theirs? They're just great. This makes so much sense.
They've laid out all of the way to do it in the U.S. No, we'll do it our way. We'll totally do it our way. Playing captain, totally.
All right. Sorry for the digression there, but TC, anything else before we start to look at some for tomorrow?
Not really. I think JT versus Tommy is interesting tomorrow. That's the 1150 pairing. What else we got? Bryson shot 68 today. Rom stinky 69.
I'm sure you gave Bryson some flowers yesterday for battling back and
Yeah.
digging in. Just double down on that. Another good round today. I know maybe it's a little lack of conditions, or he was saying that he's not playing any different. It's just kind of which is of course an eye roll, but it's
little pee in the
says what he says.
Top 5 player in the world went out and played himself
yeah.
out of the tournament on day 1. And great round 2. That's
Sure.
You're an excellent player.
Were you guys surprised Finau didn't mount a charge today? I think one of only 2 players in the top
I was stunned, Randy.
30 some to be over par. Yeah, that's crazy.
Bad side of the draw.
Couldn't get a break.
There was a moment today where I was like, man, it'd be fucking really funny if Finau just gets a major out of nowhere. That actually would be super funny.
It'd be the Seinfeld get. No thanks.
Let's see. Anything else? We got Takumi Kanaya tied with Mav McNeely, Daniel Berger, Jason Kokrak. Speaking of Kokrak, I still can't believe that Haotong Li has not gone to live.
Seems like
it's crazy.
Just seems like he's been over there. I know. I probably would have lost that bet, I think.
Non-Barstool Riggs Johnston. He shot +3 today. Victor 2 over today. Lowry 3 over today. Novak 3 over today. Phil kind of lost the plot. 76 for Phil today. He's 2 ahead
triple
of
on 17.
Riki Kawamoto and Dean Burmester heading into the
my
day.
My one genie wish on Thursday there, Phil kind of hanging around. The genie said nah on that one, unfortunately.
Nah, dog.
I would love for Keegan to say, all right, you want to get on this team? We're gonna tomorrow,
tomorrow counts times 10. Only tomorrow.
All right, Sam Burns versus Spieth tomorrow. You guys are playing for a spot on the team.
That'd be so awesome.
So in on that.
Yeah.
So in on. You shouldn't even tell them. You just do it through the media.
And then you could have Versant throw one of
signed the captain's agreement. No, check this shit out though.
Why didn't he do it to himself then? He should put himself on the line.
He should.
Him against Phil. One spot left. My old partner.
And you know what? Anybody that loses to Justin Leonard this week could be automatically disqualified from the team.
TC, I had that same thought. Our guy's doing it.
He's currently T51, shot 1 under today. He's even for the tournament. Like, he's the Mendoza line. He is even for the tournament.
God, I liked that until I looked at who he was in front of. Spieth, Hovland, Novak.
Well, just on the American team. Just on the American
team.
All
right. But yeah, I guess we have one more day that we can continue to track that one.
So
round of 70 today for Justin Leonard. That rules.
That's good. I know.
Yeah. So that's really all I had, guys.
Continues to be last in the field. Strokes gained off the tee.
Pro.
So good. Well, TC, thank you for popping in. That's good stuff. Good to see you. Who's you gonna break any news with a pick tomorrow, or are you gonna take?
No, I mean, Scotty? I think Scotty. I want to see. I think the big thing is Scotty going to win by 4 or 5, or is he going to win by 8?
I feel like we're due.
I would like to see him win by 8.
I think we're due for one of the historic moments. I feel like a 7, 8, 9, 10 shot sort of situation.
I think the other big thing this weekend is just the Price Cutter Charity Championship presented by Hill and Dairy Foods. This guy Blanchett was 20 under through 2 rounds. He's currently 1 over today and tied for the lead. He went 62-62 and he's not even leading anymore. So
golf's so hard. All right, TC. Well, we'll get you out of here. Thank you for popping in, and enjoy the final round. We will talk to you tomorrow night.
Crack on, gents,
and also with you, Solly.
I threw this out yesterday. I just said on Twitter, Scotty minus 3.5 strokes versus the field. Who you got? And I'm just going through the replies right here. I got my guy Lazeboy22 said he would bet his whole life on the field. He's going to be sweating that one out tomorrow. I think everybody taking the field on this one. Field, what are you talking about? That's a crazy line, blah, blah, blah. What's the current line? What do you think the current line would be on Scotty?
I mean, realistically, I think
3 shots.
I think that's a really nice
line. 3.5
still.
is a good line still.
Yeah.
But I'd be sweating if I had publicly proclaimed my allegiance to the field for sure. But I think that's a good line. I mean, especially if he's you guys have talked about playing to the fat parts, and it's not like he needs to go out and birdie every hole tomorrow. It's like just go out and shoot even par, and you're going to win by 4 or 5. So
I bet he shoots no worse than 68 tomorrow. I'd be curious what his over-under line is for tomorrow.
Ceremoniously and just for procedural reasons, we have to do a how far back is too far back. Feels like, I don't know. So I know you're not counting out Haotong Li. I'm going to say 10 under is too far back, but if you guys would like to disagree, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm with you. And Scotty's line per the FanDuel Sportsbook is the over-under is 68.5 tomorrow, and he's minus 140 to go under that.
Man,
what's he to win outright right now?
Good question. I told you guys not to look at this.
Okay.
No, until now.
Let's get to our segment. Let's do it right now.
Yeah. Okay. Solly, I will kick it off by saying that Scotty Scheffler is minus 700.
Well, let's just
minus 700.
Let me kick this out by saying all odds are courtesy of FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of No Laying Up, and we have our specials live. You can go to sportsbook.fanduel.com to check out all of these, and we'll we checked in on some of the bets we already have open, but we just want to go through some of the final odds heading into the final round as well.
Yeah, Scotty minus 700. Big could be a good way to make $100.
I know.
Good way to make $100 tomorrow.
I don't think I'd sleep well tonight though, knowing. No.
Rory McIlroy T4 is your next favorite at plus 2,000. Haotong Li plus 2,500. Matt Fitzpatrick plus 2,800, and then we get into some silly numbers. Tyrrell Hatton plus 4,500. Chris Gotterup plus 7,500. Et cetera, et cetera. Couple bets from the beginning of the week that still look kind of tasty. I mentioned TCs. I had a good parlay that I've listened. Of course, the parlays are tough, but this is gonna be one I'm watching tomorrow. I had Fleetwood over Bryson. We'll see. Gonna be close. Bobby Mack over JT. We'll see. Gonna be close. And Henley over Keegan. We'll see. Gonna be close, but good chance to get that one. Solly, my brother in Henley had a top 20 for Russ, and then also had any two of Tommy, Xander, or Ludwig to top 10. So Xander and Ludwig both in the conversation. Some sort of freak storm from Tommy. Who knows? He could be in there as well. But a couple odds to start the week, just as far as the contenders. Scotty was plus 450 to start the week. That seems like it was nice value, actually, looking back on it now, as absurd as that sounded. It's probably pretty easy money. Fitz was plus 5,500. I hope the Beluga crossed the river and sprinkled that one a little bit on his one and done pick. Rory was plus 700. Gotterup plus 9,000. HE was plus 11,000. Hatton was plus 3,300, and Haotong Li must have been well south of there because that was a hard one to find. We'll have to dig that one up. But any value on the board, Randy? Any nibbles you're thinking about taking?
Like truly, no.
Some top 10.
I guess on
for
the
winner on the winner front, no. But on a top 10, like kind of who could maybe sneak up there and grab one?
Can I give you one I like for tomorrow? It'll probably be, I'll throw this out on the Everything app here shortly, but I like Fitz to finish in the top 5 and Gotterup and Haotong Li to finish in the top 10 is plus 95.
Okay. I like that.
Basically all those guys holding court through tomorrow.
I like, what? I shouted him out in the preview, and he's putting his face off, and he had a better ball striking today. Harry Hall, plus 280 for a top 10. He's T14. Good round tomorrow. Maybe moves in there. I'm looking at Keegan at plus 550 for a top 10.
Oh, come on.
That just feels like, just
he is going to be 5 under through 7 tomorrow.
For sure.
100%.
100%. Trying to see what else is.
So Rosie for a top 10's currently plus 220, 2-1 odds.
I like that. They do have a winner without Scotty market.
That's a fun market. Yeah.
Rory plus 330 in that department. Haotong Li plus 400. Solly, that might be your play. I don't want to count Haotong. I don't think Haotong Li's going to, just explode, but I also don't think he's going to win. Maybe a little value 4-1 there on winner without Scotty.
He said he's playing for second. I mean,
exactly. He stated his plan right in front of everybody. Goddard, the Links Master, plus 1,000. Winner without Scotty.
You can do top past
worth a
champion.
little
Rory's minus 2,000 in that one, or 200 in that one. Xander is the next on the board at plus 210. Also, Brian Harmon's in the top 10, and he's plus 185 to finish in the top 10. I feel like he had a tough day today, but I know.
I was
feel
gonna
like
say
he
all
could
those
finish
guys
there.
T9 are plus odds right now to top 10, which is, you know, depending on who you like. I was gonna ask Deej, I don't know if you still have that winner without Scotty market up. What's Xander in that by chance?
He must be just outside. Yeah, he was the next guy, plus 1,100. It's interesting.
Wouldn't hate it.
That's interesting.
Seems like he's trending the right way.
I always like the 18-hole match bets as well, right? Like just a true coin flip. Rahm versus Fleetwood is in there. Højgaard versus Højgaard. Might need to alert TC on that one.
I was going to say this early.
Fun one.
I feel like tomorrow, if they would ever want to parent trap, tomorrow would be the day to do it. You know, same
like
starting position.
That'd be great. Especially if they were playing together, just like dress identically would be really funny. Solly, who do you like in this one? I think this is kind of a fun one. 18 holes, one round tomorrow. Harris English versus Matt Fitz.
Are they playing together?
I think no. Fitz is with Rory.
Fitz is with Rory. Harris or Fitz? I think Fitz bounces back tomorrow. I'm gonna take Fitz in that one.
HE has been very solid. 67, 70, 68. Hasn't really had anything
player,
north of 70. He is a very proper player, but hasn't kind of had that round yet.
HE might be in one of those Keegan Bradley
exactly. Might be one of the shootout matches tomorrow.
With Goddard up. They should just make that Goddard up's got to beat him by 2 strokes or more to get his spot.
I love that. Anyways, those are all brought to you by the FanDuel Sportsbook. Hey, listen, if it's going to be it might be a march to a Scotty victory tomorrow. Maybe take a look at some of the other fun stuff to keep yourself interested. But guys, anything else? I got to think we're pretty unanimously team Scotty as far as the outcome. Speak now or forever hold your peace on that one. If anybody's got a Ben Crenshaw type of feeling, now would be the time to lay that out there. I just don't think we're going to get it.
No, I just tell. I mean, you know, I'm not going to tell anyone how to enjoy viewing golf, but I guess I am getting ready to. If it is a march and it's enjoy it. Like enjoy seeing history being made in front of our eyes. I know we are capable of hyperbole, but I don't feel like it is. We're watching something that I did not think we were going to watch in this era of like homogenization and strategy being somewhat removed from the game and everyone almost pretty much playing the same style and the math equations that come from it and the TrackMan and how difficult it is to separate yourself from an entire field like what Scotty is doing. Like, just appreciate it as it's happening. It might not last forever. And I think we said this even last year of like when he was doing this stuff of like, this stuff isn't lasting forever. It's already lasting longer than I thought it would have. Rahm had a great run, good 3-4 month run to start. What is it? 2023. That just that level of play did not sustain. Spieth did this for a little while. It did not sustain. A lot of these guys have not been able to sustain it. And we're watching something that's like very, very special. I'm not going to tell you it's the most exciting, but just appreciate it. Well,
what's even crazy about that is like, I don't know. I even think there's a distinction or a difference between the level of play and the trophies stacked up, because it's like, man, like Rahm is playing, he's playing good. He's just not playing good enough to be a threat to actually like go out and fill up the trophy case. And that's where it's like, Scotty is not only like, I don't know, we're just going to get back in the same territory, but it's like, he's not only giving himself chances, he's like closing out all the chances. And it's awesome. So hopefully he does it again tomorrow. Yeah.
A lot of strokes. Like he won the 2022 Masters ended up being 2 shots because he 4-putted the last hole. That was over. He won the Masters for his second major by 4, and he won the PGA by 5. His first Masters was a 3-shot margin with a 4-putt on the last hole. And then he won the other 2 by 4 and 5.
Yeah.
So
what's your prediction for the distance tomorrow?
68 wins by 5.
Yeah, I had 6 in my head.
Yeah. I was going to say more than 4, it feels like.
Well, we shall see. We're going to be back tomorrow night to talk about it all. Gentlemen, this was a really, really fun one. Thanks to Neil and Tron for both hopping on. Shout out to Cody and Matt behind the scenes. Thanks to High Noon, H&B, The Stack, and our friends at FanDuel. Enjoy the day tomorrow. Last major championship round of the year. It has gone quickly, but it's been a really good year, and it looks like it's maybe just even getting better tomorrow. So enjoy the final round, and we will talk to everybody tomorrow night. Cheers.
Rock on.